why you want the narcissist to see. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Nobody recognises us the first time around. Nobody, when they're being seduced, thinks, hang on a second, this person's a narcissist. For the most part, people have not heard of narcissists, or if they have, they don't truly understand what that means. But nobody ever spots us the first time around. Most people come to the information about narcissism when they've suffered. When they've suffered a sustained devaluation. When they've found themselves messed around having an affair with a married person. When they found that they've suddenly started to realise things about a parent, or a sibling, or a grandparent, or a friend. Where they found themselves being bullied in the workplace and have started to put two and two together. It then leads them to narcissism. But nobody spots it at the very beginning. Why would they? You've never been told about it. And thus you start to bone up on all of the information about narcissism. The seduction, the devaluation, the disengagement, or as some people call it, the discard. You learn about hoovering. You learn about all the different types of manipulations. Prior to you gaining knowledge that you were involved with a narcissist, you will invariably be left with a situation where you could not understand why they accused you of the things that they accused you of, why they behaved in the way that they did towards you, that they accused you of the very things that they were doing themselves, and thus you sought to make the narcissist see. Even when you have become furnished with the knowledge that you're dealing with a narcissist, even when you have perhaps done the narc detector and found out that you are dealing with a narcissist, or through your own investigations you've reached the conclusion that that's what you're up against, you still find yourself wanting to make the narcissist see. You want the narcissist to understand what they are. You want the narcissist to accept that they are the one that is at fault. You want the narcissist to see that they're the one that it keeps causing the problems in the relationship, because if they could see it, you could do something about it. But what drives this in you? Why is it that you don't go, I'm dealing with a narcissist, they're incapable of seeing what they are, fuck this shit, man, I'm out of here? Why is it that you can't just drop it like that? Because nobody does. They might eventually, once they become thoroughly eroded as a consequence of repeated attempts to make the narcissist see, and they become so worn down they just think, I can't do this any longer. But nobody at the first instance goes, dealing with a narcissist, pointless trying to make them see, I'm going to walk away. What is it that keeps you doing the dance with us? Well, those seasoned viewers of mine will recognise that once again it's that enemy within, the addiction and emotional thinking. But what is it specifically about the addiction and emotional thinking that causes you to continue to want to make the narcissist see it's their behaviour that's the problem? It's the corruption of your empathic traits, and possibly also a narcissistic one. You have various empathic and narcissistic traits. So, for instance, you have empathic traits of love devotee, decency, moral compass, caring, etc. You have narcissistic traits of resentment, infidelity, defiance, argumentativeness, showcasing. But typically, in the instance of forcing you to want to make the narcissist to see, there are three traits which are most usually corrupted by that emotional thinking. I've explained elsewhere that emotional thinking poses a triple threat. It makes you use flawed logic, making you think you're doing the right thing when you're not. It charges up the battery of feeling to make you feel a particular way, so you act on it. For instance, feeling in love still with the narcissist, feeling angry about the way that you've been treated, so you go and rant at the narcissist. And thirdly, it corrupts your traits. It uses your traits against you. Your truth seeker trait, your healer trait, and your pride trait are invariably harnessed by your emotional thinking when it's powerful enough to do this, so that it corrupts those traits, with the consequence that you remain trying to convince the narcissist to see what they are, to see that they are the problem, to see that you are not the problem. Your desire for the truth, which is, you haven't done anything wrong, you don't put this forward because you believe that you're some kind of holier than thou individual, but it's quite simply the case with empathic people. You don't like people to think ill of you as a consequence of it being based upon mistruths and lies. This isn't because you're arrogant, it's a simple devotion to the pursuit of the truth. This is why you react so badly to being smeared. You don't like people forming a view on you that's not based upon the truth as you see it. Accordingly, when it comes to your involvement with the narcissist, your emotional thinking gets hold of your truth seeker trait and basically corrupts it so that you are powered to try and make the narcissist see the truth that you haven't caused the problems, the truth that they have caused the problem, the truth that perhaps they are a narcissist. It also can lead you to try and compel other people to see that also. Of course, you're embarking on a fool's errand. You're attempting to make a blind person see. The unaware narcissist is utterly incapable of realizing they are at fault because the total defense mechanism that is their narcissism will repeatedly reject the suggestion that they are at fault. You are trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It just will not fit. It will not compute. No matter how overwhelmingly obvious the evidence seems to you, it isn't the case to the narcissist. You may well think, the narcissist is a really intelligent person. They must clearly, surely be able to see that they're in the wrong. No. If you were, for example, to present to a narcissist a report from a police officer, a medical report, video footage, and statements from witnesses to demonstrate that they were in the wrong, the narcissism of the narcissist would say, that police officer is corrupt, the medical expert doesn't know what they're talking about, they're incompetent, those witnesses are all biased and they've made it up, they're liars, and the video footage has been tampered with. Extraordinary as that may seem, that is the way that the narcissist's defense functions. That it tells him, quite simply, you're not the one that's at fault, she is. They've all lied, she's got them to lie. She's paid that police officer to speak out against you. That medical expert, she's chosen somebody who doesn't know what he's talking about. Someone must have tampered with that video evidence. No matter how far-fetched it might sound, that is what happens. That is how the narcissism defends the narcissist. And your emotional thinking, wanting you to continue to engage with the narcissist, corrupts your truth seeker trait so that rather than you think to yourself, look, I'm just banging my head against a brick wall here. The narcissist simply cannot see what the problem is. Therefore, I'm going to stop trying. And instead, I'm just going to move on, put in place my no contact regime and be done with it. Instead, you keep trying and trying to make them see the truth. Your desire to heal and fix can be similarly corrupted because you believe that if the narcissist can only see that you're innocent and they are the problem, that then you can then work together to resolve the issues in your relationship and thus get back to that wonderful part where it was fantastic at the beginning, i.e. the golden period. You want the narcissist to see that you've not actually done anything wrong, that you care for this person, that you love this person, that you want to support them. And if only they could see that they're the one that is causing the problems in the relationship, then with that enlightenment, everything can be fixed. But once again, you're being sent on a fool's errand as your emotional thinking corrupts that desire to heal and fix by compelling you to try and heal and fix something that cannot be healed, that cannot be fixed. Not only can the narcissist not see it, but even if they could, it still could not be fixed because this is a hermetically sealed defense mechanism. The third trait that often compels you to try and make the narcissist see is your narcissistic trait of pride. Your pride will operate in a healthy way because it's ensconced within your empathic traits. However, emotional thinking comes along and it makes you believe that you have the power to resolve this issue, that somehow you, above anybody else, can get the narcissist to see. Previous partners may have attempted to do so and have failed. Family members have attempted to do so, but you are the special one. You have the ability to get through to them because you truly understand narcissism. And it is a point of pride for you that you will not sway from this task. You will not back down from this quest to make the narcissist see that it is them that is causing the problems and not you. Now, consider that your emotional thinking can corrupt any of those traits that I've mentioned. Think about the situation where it takes hold of all three of them. That is what is driving your behavior. Not one, not two, but three traits corrupted by your emotional thinking with such a degree of power, you invariably can't even see that it's happening. And thus you continue to try and make the narcissist see that they are the problem and that you are not the problem and that they can change themselves to fix this situation. And you're driven to do so by the power of your high emotional thinking, which in turn keeps you locked into the engagement with the narcissist because you keep talking to them and doing things in relation to them and talking about them and thinking about them. And thus, you keep your emotional thinking high, which in turn means it continues to have the power to corrupt those traits. And round you go on the narcissist wheel of misery. What you must accept is this. I am dealing with a narcissist. The narcissist cannot change. The narcissist will not change. The narcissist cannot see what they are. They cannot see that what they do and where they are at fault. They are blind to this, and it is ridiculous and a fool's errand for me to attempt to tell them otherwise. I must stop. For if I continue, I will just impale myself on the narcissist's pitchfork. And instead, I must back away and no longer attempt to make the narcissist see. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.